Hi friends, welcome to Positive Power with your host, Michele Dionne. Thank you for joining me for another week. Can you believe it's December already? This whole year seems to have just absolutely flown by. And here we are, just a couple weeks and it's going to be Christmas time already. So that is my topic. It only makes sense that at the beginning of December that we talk about how we're going to plan out a successful Christmas. And I just want to take a minute to remind you of one of the key things that we forget. It's your holiday too. It's your holiday too. I don't want you to, and quite often we do, we get caught up feeling like we need to please everybody else, right? We go places that we maybe don't want to go. We sit with people that maybe we don't want to sit with. We experience things that just aren't pleasant for us. And I want you to just remember, it's okay to say no. If you don't want to go to a certain person's, thing this year, it's okay to say no. It's okay not to go. And I also want you to think about how you're spending your money. I was listening to a really interesting talk. They were talking about the stores that play the Christmas music so early. And they were saying how it stresses some people right out. It just throws them into anxiety and depression and all sorts of stuff. Because when we think of holidays, quite often, what do we think about? We think about maybe running into certain people that we don't usually see during the year. Whether that be at a work function or maybe it's somebody right in your own family. Sometimes there's negative people. Sometimes there's people that bring you down. Sometimes it's people that are always talking about their drama. Always talking about their illness. Back to negative things and things that serve no positive purpose, right? So you want to think about that. You want to think about, placing yourself appropriately when you are in that scenario. You can't not go to your work party, right? Or can you? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But let's say you feel like you can't not go. Or to a certain family thing. Obviously, you have to be around a certain family. So before you even go there, I want you to think about who it is that you want to spend more time with, that you're more compatible with, who you have really good vibes with. When you walk into a room and you're with certain people and you get a really good vibe, or there can be other people that's exactly the opposite. Feel that. You've gone to these before. You've been around these people before. The people that you've met before that you already know, make a conscious decision. I am not sitting in the corner with negative Ned this time, right? Or I am not going to sit right across from Debbie Downer, right? You're going to want to be with Positive Pete. You're going to want to be with Inspiring Ian, hey? So think about that before you even go in. And I'll tell you something else that I heard as well. They were talking I watched so many documentaries, always trying to better myself, right? And to gather information that I can share with you. So another thing that I was listening to, they were talking about if there's somebody that you don't want to get caught into big conversations with, maybe, they tell the longest story ever, or, whatever. Maybe you have nothing in common and you don't want to be caught having to make small talk with somebody that you don't really know. Maybe that is a situation that you're not comfortable with. Always sit directly beside them. Okay? Think about that, because when you're directly beside somebody, they're going to speak out. They're going to speak to the person across from them and then to either side of them. It takes too much effort. Sounds crazy, but think about it. Are they going to necessarily turn around? No, they're going to focus this way, right? So think about that when you're in the scenario where maybe there's only like 6 people, 8 people, a smaller group. Place yourself appropriately. So I'd like you just to think about all that stuff and realize that it is your holiday. I want you to go places where you're going to have the most fun. Hang out with the people, if there's one person in the room that you really get along with, write to that person. Make that person your buddy for the night, whether they know it or not. And the other thing is your shopping, right? We get so caught up with the monetary part of it. I can't help but I'm always a little bit, it doesn't please me to have to spend money just because it's a certain date on the calendar, right? And the whole consumerism and the commercials and the way they bait, and I'm not a big fan, but I'm not going to not have this holiday either. I love to eat, drink, and be merry. So I buy a little differently for my family. Of course, I buy toys for the kids. But for all the adults, I just do stockings for everybody, and I make sure I put gift certificates in there. So I'm actually giving them memories. So, you know, there's something, you can send them bowling, you can send them to the theater, you can send them out for dinner. Here in Sarnia, you can send them to an escape room. You can send them to Valley Axe. You can send them, where else can you send, a paintball. I think we saw a paintball. You could buy them, you know, some swimming passes. Like, there's so many different things that you can do with your money that's making memories, as opposed to buying a gift that they could have bought themselves, maybe they didn't really want, or, you know, that sort of thing. So you have so much control. So I want you to go into this holiday season feeling empowered, feeling like you totally got this. It's going to be the best holiday ever. And when you decide it's going to be, it is going to be. So there you go. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk again next week. Look after yourself, and don't forget how absolutely awesome you are.